Today, our objectives as the 19th Guards Army is the defense of Stepanovka. Now, we expect a very large German attack, but we have a few things working on our side. Number one, we've got some high ground over here. We've also got a lot of cover, guys, to ambush those fascists as they approach. But I think what we're going to do, we've got some high ground up here, and I think the enemy will be heading over here. So I'm going to start setting up our trench lines right around in this area. I want to make sure that these are machine guns and not mortars. Those guys are definitely machine guns. We'll keep the mortars behind, and we'll keep the machine guns fairly close to the front. And with these AT guns, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to have them up here on this hill, set up, prepared for any enemy tanks that might push up. We're going to do the same with Brizyan and Shevnikov's units. Just get them up here on the hill. Typically, we do this all via the map, but in this particular battle, I think we just have a huge advantage with placement that we need to try to take, take advantage of. If I say advantage one more time, please send me to a gulag. I really beg you. Here we go again. More trenches, guys. And these trenches I'm going to put right there in the center where essentially we have all that forest cover, etc. A lot of these guys are anti-tank units. I will take Kazakov, however, he's an artillery spotter. And I'm going to pull him over here where he might still be able to get a visual on certain things. But I want to make sure that those frontal lines are going to be infantry and anti-tank. We'll get those guns. We might even take another one of those anti-tank guns and put it up here. And I'm kind of tempted to take the remaining infantry. We've got a bunch, by the way. But kind of put them in front as kind of a screen for the rest of our units. By the way, if you guys like this level of explanation in battles, let me know in the comments. If you don't, let me know as well. I really want both opinions, because I hope I'm not boring you with all this placement. But I think it's an important part of the fight. And like you can see here, I'm just going to keep a few infantry in front so that nobody can overrun our artillery that easily. I'm going to bring the rest of these guys. We better really hope that they attack where they say they're going to attack. And place them once again over here in the forest, really trying to take advantage of that forest defense. And as for the rest of these guys, they will have a position on this hill as well. And the reason being they are dug in. I'll make an exception for the artillery spotters, put them kind of back here. But see, they're dug in, so I'm not as concerned with them just being vaporized immediately. Of course, it could happen, but let's hope that it doesn't. Make sure we're not forgetting anybody. Oh man, look at that. An entirely new army back here. This is all for the defense of a very important part of our front, of course. So I'm going to put that army over there. Sort of kind of try and set up the guns. Actually, I don't mind the placement of those guys. That's fine. But these additional infantry units, I'm going to place them up here. Same with that gun unit there. Whoa. Weird placement. There we go. Just a little bit of micromanaging is necessary in this game. That's fine, not a problem. Is that a mortar or is it a machine gun? You know what? I don't care what it is. It's way too far on this side of the hill. Let's put it right there. And I think we're going to accept that, guys. We might have a few additional units back here. My goodness. I'm going to bring them back here as sort of a reserve unit. Just in case things don't go as planned. These reserves will be able to leave their position and counterattack. But this, to me, feels like a pretty solid defense. Here we go. Let's get it started. The Iron Defense, I should say. It's almost like the Iron Curtain has begun already. Oh my gosh. Talk about mud and blood. If they launch an attack against us, guys, it's going to be absolutely vicious for them, I think. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, as always, with these videos. We'll return when the action begins. Although I'm going to get a few still shots of these guys just enjoying the rain. We have contact, and sure enough, we have already spotted some tanks as well, not just infantry. But look at that. German soldiers on the road. It looks like 2 hits on that German tank over here from our AT guns. How did we do? Another hit. I see parts flying off. I like that. Oh, that is a kill, guys. First kill with our anti-tank. Not a bad start at all. And look at that. They are going to evacuate. Oh, just beautiful. Just beautiful there, man. That is a great start to the battle. Looks like we're just dealing with a few infantry right there. Just maybe even scouts testing out the waters. I will target them, of course. Zarodino. And if I'm not mistaken, I might be. I was going to say, it looks like the rain is slowing down, but no, it looks like it's only getting worse. Good shot. Let's see if they have any more tanks, or if that's it. Do they want to risk some more tanks? It had to be one of these guys up here. We just have perfectly placed guns, although look at that. One of the secondary gunners is getting hit from somewhere over there. Man, I almost want to send out, like, sort of a combat group to see what we can do. You know what? Let's take Korotki's unit. We're going to fast move over here. I know it's risky, but it's just a few guys. And I think we have more than enough to defend the front. I want to carry out some additional battle activities. That's it, boys. Yeah, these guys can hold on. I swear I'd rather auto all of the howitzer shots. There we go. Preparing. Nice. So we will have a fire task over there. We should be calling in some high explosive artillery. It's actually being called in right there. Ready? Alright, nice. Look at that. Look at that. Ton of units over there in the distance. So that's actually the German attack. They've just been taking their time, it seems, but we're getting still great shots on those tanks. I'm loving that. Look at that, boys. I think we may have killed another one, to be honest. I don't like that we have that spotter way out in front, although I guess it means he's going to get much better views, but look at that. Yup, sure enough, they're starting to move towards the woods, or through the woods. Now, we have units here, and not all of these guys are entrenched. Some of them are, but we might be able to even take some of these guys out of the trenches to make sure that none of the Germans sneak past this area here. We, of course, have a lot of units set up here already. We even got guns over here assisting with the battle from a distance. Look at that. There's our artillery support, boys and girls. There is the artillery support we called in. You know what? It's making me want to call in additional howitzer support. These Germans are not anticipating this kind of response from us. Preparing. And see, since our spotters are in such good locations, we should be able to spot these guys fairly easily, guys. Here we go. I'm going to bring in additional howitzers. We could almost just call this mission Soviet artillery support. Here we go. Call it. Ready. We're going to get quite a few additional strikes here. Another thing I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just this particular battle or Soviet tactics in general, when we play as the Germans, they seem to pray and spray and pay a lot, where they'll just kind of like fire from their trenches like crazy. The Soviets, it's very light fire from our trenches. I mean, certainly not in terms of the anti-tank fire, but in terms of like anti-infantry stuff, very light fire. We're not doing anything crazy. Now, what I will do is switch up our fast move here with the infantry, and we're going to go for an assault with Korotish. That's just the Soviet unit that has just arrived here. They've already taken some casualties, so we want to be careful. Root out the fascists. Yeah, we've already got engagements with these guys in the woods, but I think we're going to be just fine. We should be able to hold. Although, just imagine, like, looking from this position, you can't see enemies unless they're, like, maybe 5 yards away. There we go. That's that mortar support, guys, dropping on location. Just wonderful. It's actually helping us stop that German advance. More mortar support. Beautiful. Look at that! Did you see that shrapnel everywhere? Man, we need more of this, folks. Really, the artillery is doing all of the work during this fight. Got to be a lot of anti-personnel rounds. And just trying to hit the infantry wherever they see them. I feel like we've taken out all of the tanks we've spotted. Look at that. German tank is not going out anytime soon. Look at that. Just loving the artillery support we're getting during this fight. That's that right there. Now, where's that heavy howitzer? I want to switch this over here as well and start hitting that location. Let's do it. Howitzer is ready. Preparing, guys. We're going to fire the howitzer as well. We might actually give him 2 volleys. Get this mortar over there as well. We are just going to incinerate as much of the German army as we can. Preparing. We're getting ready with plenty of these. And actually, we're going to drop some incendiary rounds. Gotta be careful. Our special operations group is moving forward, but I still see plenty of Germans hiding out here in the bush. Look at that, though. They seem to be completely demoralized from all of this bombardment. I just want to get these guys right there. What's this? Enemy offers a ceasefire, I'll say. We can actually see those destroyed vehicles right there. Yeah, plenty of officers here in the woods. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can call in a few more, folks. I want to call in some direct battery fire on the guns. Hopefully take them out. Although that infantry looks just as fun to fire at. Preparing. Wonderful. We don't have any incendiary for that, just high explosive. This one is also preparing. Nice. We've already got some coming in. Look at that, folks. Definitely needs to get a little bit closer, but so far the threat over here from the woods has ended completely. In fact, what I'd kind of like to try to do is just take all the units here under Budikov, Bogdanov, Ivanov, etc., and rush through the woods over here for a direct attack on them. That's what I'm doing, man. I just see that opportunity present itself. We'll do a counterattack. Scare the hell out of the enemy here. But I love seeing that artillery on point. That is just tremendous. Make sure all these guys are aimed this way. Get some real focused fire over here, folks. Of course, with all the rain, I'm sure it's a lot harder to even see the enemy. But if you see those white specks, that means that our guys can spot them. So they should still try to get some shots off here, even if it's just snipers. There we go, some more mortar support. And Gorotij and his men are finally in this area. I just want to keep them here. I don't want them to advance any farther. Just hold here and make sure that the Germans are not getting this far, and I am a happy Soviet. They're asking for another ceasefire, and I believe we have taken some captives. Sure enough, guys, we didn't even need to move up on their position. They just don't want to take any more artillery fire. Good shot. Direct hit. Direct hit! He was just firing at our men. The second they start getting combat effective, we knock them down. So again, we'll try to get additional hits. Yeah, this one's already supposed to come in, but let's move it to over here. This one is ready, but let's move it over there. Make sure it's an incendiary as well. These should already be firing pretty regularly. Just want to make sure they are all directed at the enemy. Boom! That's what I'm talking about, boys. Unbelievable. And if I'm not mistaken, it's really like forcing their army back. They're pulling back to avoid those artillery strikes. Because we're landing them like right there. That's just amazing. We'll take Koplov's group. Look at that. Of course, we wanted them to move through the woods here. I'm going to keep on fast moving them. They are going as quickly as possible. To give you guys like a proper visual, look at that. Look at all those Soviets. That's a lot of guys moving towards the enemy. Just take a look at the Germans here. I thought they had trenches, but now that I'm getting up close and personal, none of them have trenches. They're all out in the open here. Maybe over here they've got some, but it's not looking good for our German enemies. Move it slightly back. Slightly back. See what I mean about them falling back? It's just incredible. They're doing anything they can to avoid our hits. All of these guns are already firing, of course. We are setting the field on fire with all of this, all of these strikes. Oh, look at that. We're already amongst some of the spotters or the rear guard in the forest here. Get them, lads. course, the Germans are going to leave a rear guard. And it looks like plenty of our guys dropped smoke, understandably. And there's still plenty of Germans kind of hiding out here. So as we work our way towards the battlefield, we might as well eliminate these threats. Of course, all of that rain has let up now, and it seems like with the rain letting up, the artillery's more consistent. I love that, man. Look at that. Look at all the officers. You gotta be kidding me, man. Get them, boys. There's a whole clump of German officers here, guys. Straight to Siberia for them, for any of those that survived. And sure enough, they did surrender there. Had a direct hit drop on our men there. No doubt they knew that we were coming through the woods, but wow. Talk about an easy grab. That's going to work out really well in favor of us towards the end of the battle. I think this might be the perfect counterattack. Nice, nice. The entire battlefield is just littered with their bodies, just purely from artillery hits. I wouldn't even be surprised if most of their casualties are wounded, just because it seems like every piece of land on this field has been touched by arty in one way or another. Oh, look at that! He's trying to bandage his wounds during the middle of a fight. Let's see if our men deal with him. Our men are all around, but in the absolute insanity of combat... Oh, you know what? He could even be a prisoner. That's another possibility. Alright, we're going straight in. This time we're switching to an all-out assault on that position. The men will be prepared for sure, but it looks like all of the guys that were getting hit out here have rushed into the woods, taken up defensive positions, and hopefully we can wipe them out. But that's going to make it a little harder for us to hit them, and not to mention, I'm starting to spot German units over here, including German tanks. So maybe this was a huge ruse, and they've got their entire tank army over there, and they're trying to flank us over there on top of the hill. As you can see, we still have a lot of our men moving that direction, and let's hope that no enemies attack over here, because we've left this area kind of bare, just in an effort to really speed up the counterattack. But I'm okay with our decision, and look at how many Germans here. We got to get up close and personal. All this bushfighting is tough. Let's take a look at the German perspective. They're moving forward as well. Not a purely defensive fight for them at all. So what I can try to do is let's bring in mortar support right there. It is danger close. But there are so many enemies there, I think it's worth it. Look at that! So many enemies there. Get them, boys. The only way to get the enemy is practically to fire through the bush and get lucky. So let's hope that they will get their wits about them and surrender. Save us all the trouble. Oh, they're throwing grenades. They're doing anything they can to save themselves. I don't really want Ivanov taking them on, to be honest. Look at that visual. German forces right here. It seems 2 officers. They both have pistols. And we see that our artillery's still at work out here in the open field. It's a shame we don't have any actual vehicles of our own, because it seems like this would be a perfect chance to just basically run right over them. Take them out that way, but in this situation, our guys are going to get up close and personal. Filatov. It's actually one of our spotters. I don't really want him getting hurt. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, infantry leader. Damn! The Germans got him. Threw a few grenades over here, too, though. It's going to be a rough time for anybody. And that's the artillery! That's our artillery! Nice! Danger close, but it's landing where we put it. There we go. That is exactly where we ordered it, guys. It is danger close, but look what it's doing to those Germans. Bunch of wounded Germans there. I hope this allows our troops to take them out fairly easily. Another strike. Look at that. You can even see the trails, guys, from the artillery piece. Unbelievable. If you guys have gotten this far, I want you to drop in the comments down below artillery strike. How about that? And look, our guy made it out of there. Oh, nicely done. Some grenades as well. Good idea. Just a mountain of corpses. Got an entirely new group right there. Gotta deal with them. I mean, at this point, our guys are in the field itself fighting against the Germans. Nice. Keep it up. Hit him with your rifle, man. We could, of course, order all arty to focus here and just strike this area with everything we've got. Let's do it. Got some firing already. Preparing, preparing, preparing. They will be shooting soon. But that should hopefully get the rest of the Germans to give up the ghost. And there we go. They're retreating, guys. If you take a look at that timer in the upper left-hand corner, they are retreating, man. That's the right call for sure. I want you to let us know what you thought of this defense during this fight and what you thought about all the artillery. Do you want to see more battles like this with just overwhelming fire support? Or do you like it when it's really tooth and nail? I mean, this one was pretty tooth and nail, let's be honest. But tell me what you prefer, of course, in this fight. I mean, we completely devastated that field. Just look at all the pockmarks. Plenty of destroyed vehicles, but most important are all the shell holes. We destroyed this area, and we're still calling in strikes on that area. We might be able to get rid of the woods, or set them on fire, which we've done a few times during this battle. Now, I'm expecting the enemy casualties to be terrible during this fight. I really hope so, because we've hit them with so much, but it might be mostly wounded. I think that's the only thing that might be kind of disappointing. See some more captured. We've got a lot of prisoners during this fighting, which is great for us. We can interrogate those prisoners, find out about some of the Wehrmacht's war aims, and move from there. Who knows what kind of information we can find. Also, if you've made it to this part of the video, let me know what you want to see next. Germans, Soviets, or South Africa. Let me know which battle you want to see next, or even, you know what, Soviet-Afghan War as well. Because I'll structure my videos in such a way that you guys get what you want. Let's put it that way. And it took them a while to start targeting our artillery. Long enough for us to get away with quite a lot of bombardments. Surprised those guys survived to the end of the fight. Well done, lads. And look at that. Plenty of Germans just rushing all the way back deep into the woods, trying to get away from our men. And there we go, battle results. Man, what an epic fight. 247 casualties for the Germans. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't expect that bad. 70 enemy killed, 28 wounded, and 149 taken prisoner. Man, we achieved a lot during this fighting, and I hope we can have similar fights in the future. Thanks, guys. Take care. I'll catch you on the next one. Sa rodinu.